Okay, now that that's done, we'll start putting the frames together. With the X5 kit, the frames are not identical. There is a left and a right side. And also on the left side is where the tail servo mounts onto. On one side you'll see that it's got little standoffs on it holding these bolts in here for the servo. The other side is flat. The flat side goes on the outside, so the frames will actually go together just like this. What we're going to do is we're going to put everything together on the opposite frame that the tail servo goes on first. So we'll get out our parts from the parts bag here, start bolting them in as per the manual, get the tail boom section made up, get that in here, and then we'll bolt the other half onto there. I'm going to go ahead and just keep recording as I do this, and hopefully in post-production I'll speed it up and make it look cool so you don't have to sit here and watch me screw in every bolt as we go along. So here we go. Okay, if this is your first kit that you're putting together, what you're going to use is you're going to use blue Loctite, and you put that on any screw that goes into metal. What that does, that basically just keeps the screw from backing out on you. And how you do this is, let me zoom in a little bit here. Get that out of the way. What I like to do is I like to put just a little drop of Loctite on there. And hopefully you can see that. There's just a little drop on there. And then I wipe it off lightly with a rag. So you're left with just a little bit of Loctite left on there. And you can even use your fingers and take off any excess. You don't want a lot on there. If you put too much on there, you're never going to get it to unscrew when you want to take the heli apart, or if you crash or need to make repairs or something. So we just do a little bit of Loctite, not excessive, otherwise you'll never get it apart again, and then screw it right on into the helicopter. And again, you use Loctite wherever you do metal on metal. Okay, and here, I actually messed up. This bolt doesn't go in this hole, it goes in the one right next to the servo mount. What's actually going to go in here is the canopy mount. So we're just going to take that one out. And also another thing to note is this screw hole up here by the bearing is actually a shorter bolt than the 3x6. You actually use a 3x4 in that hole. So we'll go ahead and grab one of those. Put some Loctite on it and put it in there. So there we go. This hole is left open for the canopy mount, and then this one is a different bolt. That is the 3x4 instead of 3x6 bolts, like these other ones were. Okay, for the tail, they actually have, you get two flat carbon fiber pieces of frame. this tail mount is going to be the shorter one, and they actually have countersunk the holes on here, so there really is only one way to put it in. And then you have the flathead bolts that would go into those holes, so it's nice and flush after you have it all together. Okay, so there we have one half done. So let's go ahead and get the other side of the frame and put them together. One thing to note is on this side of the frame, you're actually going to be using a 3x12 bolt to go through on this side, on the bottom of the boom mounts. There's actually, if you look in there, there's no thread right here, and that's because it goes all the way through the boom in order to catch. There's a little cutout here, so that way it pinches your boom in there. So we'll go ahead and do that. It does say to put your canopy mounts in here. I'm gonna wait and do that until after I got the frames together here. And again, remember you use the shorter bolt by the bearing up here. You use the 3x4 bolt to 3x6 bolts. One thing that is recommended with this kit is when you're looking down inside here at your gear that drives your tail, there's a little bolt in here, and for whatever reason people have been trouble with that bolt being sheared, so what they've been doing is they've just been replacing it with a little harder of a bolt. I'm not going to worry about it yet. I don't fly as hard as a lot of people fly, so I'm going to leave it in there for now. I'm not putting the bottom screws in tight yet. I'll wait until we get the tail section added on before I put Loctite on these bolts and tighten them down. I'll just put them in here for now so I remember which ones go where. Alright, there we have it. The frames are put together. We got our motor mount block in there, we got our tail section in there, and our canopy mounts. The next step is going to be landing gear, and then getting that on the heli.